So why these, you are converting your analog signal into the digital signal. Okay, so answer for this question is, okay, there are many advantages. Okay, okay, to transmit your digital information over the analog information. So what are those advantages? Okay, so whatever the signal we are receiving, okay, so this are all converted into the digital form, okay, from the analog signal. Why they are doing all this conversion anta andre, we have some disadvantages, okay, over the analog signal compared to the digital signal. What are all the advantages? Okay, we will see one by one. Okay, so these are all the some points which is we'll study in this why digitize analog sources. Okay, so first point, what is the first point? Digital systems are less sensitive to the noise than the analog signal. Okay, so if we are using the digital signal means we need to use the digital systems. Okay, so digital systems antandre some systems which are able to receive the signal and process the signal. Okay, that systems are called as digital systems ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. Okay, so digital systems ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ to receive the digital signal and process the digital signal ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, so that systems are very less sensitive to the noise than the analog signal. Okay, less sensitive ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is nothing but it is less affected to the noise anta. So noise is nothing but some disturbance anta. Okay, disturbance is nothing but some unwanted signal. Noise is nothing but unwanted signal or some disturbance which is added to the your original signal. Original signal anta andre it may be your some voice signal ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ some music signal ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ some signal which is original. Okay, information signal. So that is ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು our signal ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so a particular signal it is very less sensitive ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is less affected to the noise compared to the analog signal. Analog signals are more affected with respect to the noise signal. Okay, that is why we are converting our analog signal into the digital signal. This is the first point. Digital systems are less sensitive to the noise than the analog signal. Okay, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next point. What is the next point? With the digital system, it is easier to integrate different services. Okay, so for example, video and accompanying soundtrack into the same transmission scheme. Okay, so in the digital signal or digital systems use ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ it is very easy to integrate different services. Integrate ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ combining ಅಂತ. Okay, combining ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. For example, video ಮತ್ತೆ music track. So you are watching the video. Okay, in the video what will happen? Sound ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ? Video and music both are synchronized with each other, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This
sir.
integration can be easily done by the digital systems. Okay, it is very easy to integrate the different services. Example, video and the accompanying music track into the same transmission scheme. Okay, transmission schemes na, so to integrate the video and the sound quality, sound both one way, it is very easy in case of the digital systems using some transmission schemes use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು it is very easy to integrate these type of the services. It is very easy to give these services, to integrate these services, okay, using some transmission scheme. That is why we are converting the analog signal into the digital signal. Okay, okay. So next is the transmission scheme can be relatively independent of the source. Okay, for example, a digital transmission scheme that transmit voice at 10 kbps could also be used to transmit computer data at 10 kbps. Andre idartha, so transmission scheme whatever we are using in the digital signals are independent of the source. Source anta andre you can use voice as a source or you can use data as a source. So for both the voice and data, the transmission scheme can be independent. Okay, it is not dependent on any scheme, so it is independent. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the third point. So next, fourth point, circuitry for handling the digital signal is easier to repeat, and digital circuits are less sensitive to the physical effects such as vibration and temperature. Okay. So whatever the circuits we are using for the digital signal, it is very easier to repeat, and circuits which are less sensitive to the physical effects such as vibration and temperature. ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ temperature and vibrations ಮೇಲೆ ಈ digital systems and digital circuits are very less sensitive. That is why we are converting into the digital signal from the analog signal. This is the fourth point. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? So
Yes,
next
sir.
is digital signals are simpler to characterize in terms of bits 1 and 0. Okay. So under digital signals na normally we will use 1 and 0. So we will use the we are going to represent the digital signal in the form of 1 and 0. Okay. So it is very simpler to characterize. Andre we will represent either 1 or 0. Okay. Low or high. Low is nothing but 0, high is nothing but 1. So because of this, they do not have variability as analog signals. This makes the associated hardware easier to design. Okay. So because of these characteristics, bits 1 and 0, the variability of the analog signals, okay, because of this, the hardware design is very easy here. Okay. Because of these characteristics of the digital signal, we don't have any variability as in case of the analog signals. That is why we are converting the analog signal into the digital signal. Okay. So this is the fifth point. So next is various media sharing strategies known as multiplexing technique are more easily implemented with respect to the digital transmission technique. Okay. So we are using the multiplexing concept, multiplexing techniques. So to use the different signal in a single platform, we are using the multiplexing technique. Okay. So that can be more easily implemented with respect to the digital signal. Okay, that is why we are converting the analog signal into the digital signal. Okay, so we are using the multiplexing techniques in various communication systems. Okay, to integrate the different signals into the one signal. Okay, that can be done by multiplexing technique. That technique is very easy in case of the digital signal. That is why we are converting the analog signal into the digital signal. Okay, this is the sixth point. Next is digital technique makes it easier to specify complex standards that may be shared on worldwide basis. Okay, so whatever the technique we are having in the digital signals are very easier to specify the some complex standards. Okay, so to represent the signal, to transmit the signal, so standards are there. That standards are very easy in case of the digital signal using digital technique. This is the seventh point. Okay. Next, then the techniques such as equalization and adaptive versions are easier to implement with digital transmission techniques. Okay. So we are using some techniques here. Equalization technique, adaptive equalization techniques. These are all some things which are used in the digital signal. So these are very easy in case of the digital systems and digital signal utilization. That is why we are converting our analog signal into the digital signal. So these are the some important points why digitize the analog sources ಅಥವಾ analog signals ನ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ we are converting your digital analog signal into the digital signal ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ these are all the some of the advantages of the digital signal over the analog signals. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the first topic in the module. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದು?
Yes, sir.
Okay.